The gods departed. 1,000 years passed. Silence. Temples crumbled into dust. No divine whispers answered prayers. Only absence remained. The world remembered them, of course, or thought it did, in faded tapestries and chipped statues. Wars raged across the continents. Petty kings with grand ambitions fought. Monsters roamed the shadowed places, creatures born of darkness, perhaps. Or maybe of the gods' careless departure. Humanity felt small, and often terribly afraid. Liora was a scribe. She was lowborn, from the city's underbelly. Her world was made of ink and parchment. She copied old texts for meager pay. She lived in a cramped small room. It was situated above a noisy, bustling tavern.
Bread, shelter, a sharp, well-kept knife.
She believed only in practical things. The gods were a lie, a cruel, beautiful, and ultimately empty lie. Then the message came. It was not written on parchment. It did not arrive in a vivid dream. It was a feeling, a cold, creeping dread. It settled deep within Liora's heart, like a sharp shard of ancient ice, the oracle. It was stirring from its slumber. Legend spoke of it. It would awaken when the world neared its end. Liora tried her best to ignore it. This strange, unwelcome knowledge. She sharpened her collection of quills. She meticulously mixed her darkest ink. She tried to lose herself in her daily work, but the feeling persisted, a constant hum, a pull towards something vast and ancient, something utterly terrifying. She was just a simple scribe after all. What could an oracle possibly want with her? The message, though unspoken, was clear. Go to the Vale of Dust. They reached the Vale of Dust at last. It was worse than any of the grim stories. A vast grey expanse stretched before them, under a perpetually bruised and sorrowful sky. The air itself tasted of ash, and of old, forgotten sorrows. Jagged rocks clawed at the distant horizon. The silence here was different, not empty, but watchful, waiting, holding its breath. The 5 of them stood at its very edge, small figures, against a vast, dead, uncaring canvas.
So the oracle calls and we answer like fools.
Perhaps we are fools, old man. Or perhaps we are something more.
The texts speak of trials, of terrible choices. Then there was Neryl, the quiet young woman. She rarely spoke a word. Her gaze seemed fixed on something far beyond them. She was an enigma to them all. Quiet, observant, almost ethereal. Liora felt a strange, unspoken connection to her, a shared understanding, perhaps, of being an outsider, of carrying a heavy burden. They were all broken, she realized, in their own unique ways. The obsidian door shimmered. It opened, not with a sound, but with a soft, drawn-out sigh, a breath of ancient, forgotten air. They stepped through into profound darkness. Then light bloomed, a vast chamber. The walls themselves seemed to shift, to breathe. In the center, upon a raised dais, it rested, a crystal, immense, unblemished, perfect. It throbbed with a palpable, raw power. The trials began almost at once, not trials of strength or of cunning, but of the soul, the hidden heart. Each of them faced their deepest, darkest fear.
Kalen saw his fallen comrades, their accusing eyes, their silent, eternal condemnation.
Liora was trapped in a gilded cage of her own making, her precious freedom revealed as just another illusion.
The fear was potent, a suffocating wave. It threatened to consume her entirely. But then a tiny spark ignited within. Defiance. Her life was her own, not for gods, not for oracles, not for anyone but herself. She pushed back against the vision. It shattered. She stood, trembling, but whole, unbroken. The crystal pulsed. Brighter now, a voice echoed, not in their ears, but directly in their minds, ancient, tired.
The world falters. It cracks. It bleeds. The age of mortals is fragile, so easily broken. Awaken the gods. Restore their ancient reign, or let this flawed age crumble into dust, and a new one, unknown, begin. Yours to choose.
The weight of worlds, it settled upon them, upon Liora, the lowborn scribe, the unbeliever.
Kaelin argued for the gods, for order, for the strength they once provided.
Ilara wanted only freedom. No gods, no masters. Let mortals forge their own destiny, she urged.
Ronan was torn, his beloved books. They offered no clear, simple answer.
Neril watched Liora, her silver eyes knowing. The choice, it seemed, was Liora's alone, the one who scoffed at deities. The irony was a bitter taste in her mouth, a cruel jest played by fate.
Awaken gods who had abandoned us? Condemn mortals to another endless cycle of dependence? Or let the world burn to cinders, hoping for something better? Neither. I would choose neither.
She stepped forward, her hand outstretched. Not to choose one path or the other, but to end the choosing. The divine game. She would not play by their ancient rules. She touched the crystal, not with reverence or with fear, but with unshakable, cold resolve, and shattered it, a sound like breaking stars, like the universe itself cracking apart. The chamber crumbled around them, the Vale of Dust shook to its core. The oracle was no more, its power gone, divine influence severed, forever. They stumbled out, into a changed world. Legends would speak of Liora, the scribe, who silenced the gods, for humanity, to find its own way, its own future, its own voice.